I think this is a long video already. What I'll probably end up doing is cutting sections out and putting them on my other channel called Insight. I have quit drinking alcohol. I haven't had a sip in about 5-6 years. I think it's a problem in today's society, especially with the younger youth, which they grow up. So I'm going to talk today about why I quit drinking, why I started, some stories in my past that involve drinking, and yeah, kind of why I don't drink anymore. So another party story I'll share of why I quit drinking is there was one night, it was in college, I was rooming with a couple women, and at our house they decided to throw a huge house party. We had a big ping pong table and music. It was a good time the night of, and we ended up buying Keystone Ice that had a higher percentage of alcohol, and there was Jello shots that they made, liquor, all sorts of fun. And the only negative thing, actually I don't even think it happened that night. There's a different party that our ping pong table broke. But I drank so much that night. I think I knocked down 15 of those Keystone Ice beverages. Not good. And plus some Jello shots. This is what happened. I woke up in my bed. Well, this is what I briefly remember. I briefly remember waking up in my bed and I had puke all over my phone that was right next to my pillow. So I set my phone right next to my pillow when I must have crashed. And I puked in my sleep for the first time ever I've done that. And that was scary. I'm like, shit, what if I was on my back? I could have drowned. And then I don't remember much either after that, except waking up in the bathtub with puke running all down my front. And that was one of the most disgusting things, to puke all over yourself and not know it and wake up in a bathtub. The other stuff after that, it took me 3 days to recover. I couldn't go to school. I just lived on the couch. Just drank a lot of Gatorade probably. I don't even know. I doubt I ate. I felt like I was hit by a train. It was one of the worst hangovers in my life. So that was probably one of the last nights I actually got drunk from binge drinking, because the hangover and the after effects was not worth it. Not worth it at all. So another party story I have from my drinking days was back in high school, and I lived out in the country, miles from town, and I'd always throw bonfire parties, themed ones. Everyone would dress up. We'd have Daisy Duke night, we'd have jogger jumpsuit night. I'm trying to remember all the different costumes we all wore sometimes, but it started off small, just a few of us getting together, and I think at first my parents just kind of turned a blind eye, because most of the times, just the few friends I had, they'd all stay at my house, and most of the time they'd just be putting like vodka and Gatorade bottles, right? But there was one time it got way out of hand, and we had people from 7 different towns, 7 different schools show up at my party, and I didn't even know half of the people. And it was getting too big. One of the women went into our house and flushed a tampon down the toilet. So that was an expense that my stepdad was very not happy with, and I didn't have too many bonfire parties after that. What else? Yeah, people just came from all over. They heard about it. Heard about how fun they were, the first few of them. And yeah, people would drive out with their trucks, coolers full of beer in the back, and just all have a grand old time at my bonfires. However, there was no supervision. It got out of hand a couple times. If my aunt only knew the activities my cousin were partaking in with a lot of my friends that I couldn't control, I think she also started to develop a certain reputation about herself. Oh yeah, also in high school, since we're on the high school drinking topics, often we'd go either out into the cornfield, just play music out of our cars and drink out in the field. Other times, we'd go to our friend's house in town. I had a friend who, his parents owned the bar at the time, and so they were always gone every night, basically, until 12, 1 o'clock. So a lot of times, it was just kind of the go-to place to go to his house, and he had a ping pong table. I always call them beer pong tables now, because I feel like that's the only thing people play on them. I do like ping pong. But I was really good at beer pong too back in the day. I was a basketball player. I had long arms. I could reach halfway across the table. My friend Trevor and I would always run the table, it felt like, because there was one night specifically partying at his house. Is the night after I got my first basketball dunk in a game. And there was girls from out of town visiting, and had their eyeball looking at me. I liked it. And the streak was continuing on the beer pong table. I was sinking them. I won 21 games in a row. My record that I should be proud of, right? So I was drinking all night because I kept winning. And then ended up getting that girl's number. We dated for a while. But you know, some of these chicks at parties, they monkey branch, right? They're there for a good time. And that's what happened. I threw a bonfire party and she monkey branched at my party. Maybe another story. I don't know. It's way in the past, but it's a fun one. I think I'll wrap it up here. This beautiful background at Kirkpatrick Park. Thank you for joining me today. Be sure to kill that like button. I'll make more of these. I have a whole series of I quit. I'll do one about I quit smoking. I quit meat for over a year. Yeah, I've got a few interesting topics I'm gonna start discussing. So anyway, you all stay fun. Until the next one. Peace.